Welcome to the Playchoices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 13 of the Veils of Secret. Now, Veil of Secrets, I should say. I did 12 chapter reviews, but after that, I kind of stopped. So it's been 1 month if you've been following since I last did a video on Veil of Secrets, and that was chapter 12. And I kind of stopped it because one or the other thing came in, but also now I think I picked it up because only 4 chapters left. And if you look at the other mystery book, which is The Unexpected Heirs, 4 chapters left. So it would be a nice time. Both books' finales I would like to review together. So it would be a good comparison at the same time for both the books, Veil of Secrets and The Unexpected Heirs. We can draw some prime comparisons between these two books because these are the one and only murder mystery books available in choices as of now when I'm recording this video. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this. This chapter starts as usual. We are in this interrogation room and we know this interrogator, he's telling us that we went to Nicolay because we thought Kate saw the red mask and red octopus with the tattoo and everything. It linked to it, everything to Nicolay. And then we were surprised that Duffy showed up there and shot Nicolay when we were confronting Nicolay. But Nicolay told us a lot of things like under the bed and the relationship between the Sterling family and lots of pictures there. Also, he was stalking Margaret. A lot of things we learned, and then our main character says all of these were just the tip of the iceberg. Next, what happens? We are outside so we have finally gotten out of that lighthouse and we're in the mainland and we're still trying to shake off the feeling. Duffy looks like he's about to puke again because he has never killed a man in his life before, as he says this far. And then our main character is also really shaken off. But then Grant comes in and tells us that there's a good news in the light of all these things. He can pin everything on Nicolay, that Nicolay kidnapped Kate and killed Bryce and Tanner. So Kate can get a bail. So he has called Judge Winters and called for an emergency court session. So that's really interesting. But we also think that Naomi has this hunch, call it the feeling that there's more to this than meets the eye. But so for now, for the time being, we agreed to pin this on Nicolay to get Kate out. Now we see the courtroom next day, but before that day we'll go to B&B in our apartment, and we will get one of our love interests to literally accompany us to our room because we will be so shaken up by the events of the day. Nicolay will be safe if we chose to save him, and he will show up at the end of the book. But right now, we won't have any contact with him. Like, he won't be able to tell us anything, like who he worked for or anything. But we'll have a nice conversation with a love interest while walking back to our home to B&B to our room. I chose Naomi. We talked about her determination that he wants to put walls to justice before he leaves this town, even if she doesn't have the job. Naomi. And then the next day we'll see B&B's owner has chose some outfits. She has chosen some outfits for our main character and then also prepared some breakfast. We take that premium scene outfit, we go to the courtroom, and I gotta say here that the courtroom scene in Veil of Secrets, I think that is what I expected when they said laws of attraction, but except some, when we were in the moot court, like it was like a mock parliament, not a parliament, like a mock test or like a mock courtroom trial. When those were going on, that was kind of close, but we didn't fight any actual case in laws of attraction in courtroom like cases are dealt with, which was in Veil of Secrets. So I think that was really interesting because this is the proper courtroom drama that went down in Veil of Secrets in these chapters. So finally, Grant puts everything, and Judge Winters sees it, and the court is. Then she plans to adjourn the court for 24 hours, and then she will, after reviewing all the, witnesses and all these evidences, she will decide on what to do with Kate's bail. But for the time being, Kate is taken back, and then we get back to back two crime scenes. First with Grant, we go to this island beach, and it's a private island owned by Grant family. So we spend a really nice time there. And what's so good about this, in these books, you can spend time with a love interest without being intimate, because it was the 30 diamond scene, and you can go there, you can just enjoy, just taking the view, and and if you don't want to proceed with the relationship, and then you can just have like chill back there, and you can just be friends. But most of these days book with multiple love interests, it just leads you to maybe, even if like the options you have, two options, like maybe kiss this guy or maybe do something else. But in this book we had like kiss, or just eat your pie, compliment, have fun, just cuddle, stuff like that. So I think that was really interesting. So you, even if you didn't want to romance a certain character, still if you wanted to be with them as a friend, so for those purposes, these things are really strong, I would say, because you can get more from that character, their background. You can enjoy them more, even if you don't like them as a love interest. Anyway, then we move on. We see with Flynn. So under the bed, so definitely we need to check under Margaret's bed. We sneak into the mansion, the Sterling mansion, the cursed mansion, and then we go to first Bryce's room to hide from other folks and housekeepers in that mansion. And then we find the usual, if we choose to snoop around, that's a diamond scene, then we will see lots of like whatnot, like from cocaine to porn to downloaded movies, from a camera that he used to spy on Kate. Remember the teddy bear with the camera back then, in chapter 1 or chapter 4 or 5. What else? We had a bra that is probably Kate's bra, so he probably stole it from Kate. I mean, even Flynn says, "Oh, I would like to, if Naomi gives us the opportunity." Yeah. So, Flynn asks our main character, "Do you think that when Naomi, gets the body out of the forensic, will she allow me to spit on Bryce's face?" And that was really like interesting. I liked it. The way. The way the writers developed all these little details, worked on those, it's really funny, hilarious. It just adds more to the story. And then we finally go to Margaret's room. We find all the we go under the bed, and then we find a tile that was removable, and then we find lots of records, and we saw that the Sterling business went down, and then the next year it was again all good. So when they were almost getting bankrupted, they started doing illegal businesses or imports, that is drug, and they needed a third man, mafia like person, and that was our Russian Nikolai. And even then, Nikolai and Margaret, they had an affair, they had a fling. So from an old drunk, our friend Flynn got to know about that. So all those details we found from there. And even what more is that we also got to know from all these things that there was a love letter from Pierce. So as it is true now that Pierce was also having an affair, and even they probably had a daughter. So they were expecting a daughter or something, and that was in the letter that Margaret was keeping. So this is really interesting, and Flynn says apparently no one in this town can keep it in their pants. And what happened to that lady, and who was his daughter? Because before, also, Nikolai, when he was shot, he said he did something, someone is alive, he mentioned. So we need to, there are lots of dots, we need to connect the dots, come to a conclusion. But that's it. So we finally read the name of the person who sent the letter to Pierce, or who was probably the person who, with whom Pierce was having an affair, extramarital. affair, which is really fatal, I guess. And at that same time, Margaret comes in and says, "Don't even say that name." And she's pointing, Margaret is pointing a gun at us. And this is huge. What will happen next? That's the end of chapter 13. It has built up to a certain, certain cliffhanger, a certain climax, and now it's time to go down. How will it go? We'll find that out in the next chapter, chapter 14, 15, 16, three chapters left. And at the same time, we'll also be going through each week chapters of The Unexpected Heiress. So it's going to be really interesting to see how both books end, and we will draw a comparison between these two books. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all these and about the chapter, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.